My journal mood tracker shows that I had a series of bad days and then a series of good days using colours to represent the mood of the day. Problem is, looking back now, I have no idea what caused the change from being in a bad mood to being in a more positive mood. In this video, I'm going to go through a few ideas for how to get more out of your mood tracker, showing you examples from my years of journaling. I'm Ruby from The Useful Journal. I do journal reviews and show you how to get more out of your journaling experience, and I may have a teensy little obsession with washi tape. Tracking your mood is often recommended as part of cognitive behavioural therapy. According to the Mayo Clinic, and I'm going to read this, cognitive behavioural therapy helps you become aware of inaccurate or negative thinking so you can view challenging situations more clearly and respond to them in a more effective way. Mood tracking is popular in bullet journaling, with people using beautiful spreads applying colours for each type of mood. This is usually part of an overall aesthetic on the page. Another popular form of mood tracking is a pixel a day tracker, where the entire year is drawn up in boxes, with the months in columns and a colour filled in for each day. The final result is a colourful, pixelated page. While this simple record will allow us to see trends over a month or even a year or even year to year, it doesn't give us enough information to respond in a way that might reduce stress or improve our general mental health. There are many causes of change in mood. Common causes are stress, lack of or poor sleep, diet, interactions with people, hormones, exercise, significant life events, drugs and alcohol, medication, or medical conditions. Tracking our mood might allow us to identify a trigger that is in our control to change, such as noticing we always have a poor mood after we eat a lot of sugar, or we feel great after exercise. Mood tracking may also help us identify whether a new treatment is working, such as using an antidepressant medication. You might just want to see whether a new yoga or meditation practice is changing the way you feel. To get this kind of information, we need to expand our basic mood tracker and allow room for additional notes. These could simply be a different colour or pattern, or written notes or symbols. It's also useful to have a mood tracker that allows for multiple moods in one day. You may start the day on a high, but then something happens that upsets you, for instance, the end of a relationship or a negative comment from someone that you respect. For several months, I kept a fairly detailed mood tracker in my journal because I had started menopause. This led to a huge hormonal shift in my body and sudden depression. It was so severe that I would be sitting in a meeting at work and I would want to break into tears for absolutely no reason at all. Because of this, I started taking a light antidepressant, and I wanted to track the impact of the medication and also monitor other factors that might be contributing to see how I felt on a daily basis. Most importantly, the tracker helped me to see what would happen if I missed my medication for 1 or more days. This tracker looks complex but was very easy to fill out. I simply had a yes or no response for a range of items, including whether I took my tablet, whether I had a good night's sleep, had I had sugar, alcohol, done any exercise, experienced any personal or work stress, or had a major life event that day. I then added more detail about my mental state, grading from 1, which was poor, to 5, which was good, my appetite, energy levels, concentration, and whether I felt overwhelmed, motivated, or frustrated that day. Finally, I recorded my mood from 1, which was poor, to 5, which was excellent. Because I had a line for each level of mood, if I had 2 significantly different moods in the day, I could record both. There was a small column on the right of the page to record specific notes if necessary. This table was so useful. If I'd had a series of bad days, I was able to see whether it was because I hadn't been taking my medication or I hadn't been sleeping very well. If my mood suddenly plunged, I had a fair idea why. These months of mood records helped me realise that sugar was a huge problem for me, immediately impacting my mood, and that if I missed my medication for one day, it was okay, but if I missed it for more than one day, then I started feeling the effects. My tables also helped me to eventually become more confident that I could go without my medication, and I haven't been taking it for a year now. Menopause symptoms do ease eventually, ladies. Once I understood more about my mood and triggers, I was able to reduce the number of triggers that I monitored. I then took the next step, which I highly recommend. I started incorporating self-care pages into my journal. I continued mood tracking in a simpler form, and then my self-care pages would give me ideas and targets for things that would make me feel good, like calling a friend or buying myself flowers. Setting goals like this actually encourages you to do them. Speaking of goals, one year I did the Level 10 Life setup. Level 10 Life is where you establish goals across a range of different categories such as family, work, mental health, fun and creativity, and spirituality. At the beginning of the year, you self-assess where you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10 in achieving those goals, and then at the end of the year, you reassess your progress. Mental health crosses over a lot of other categories, for instance, exercise, so my goals under mental health were very specifically related to mental health and included therapy, medication, journaling, and self-care. This process was really useful because when you reflect at the end of the year, you write down your accomplishments, disappointments, time wasters, what you're grateful for, and how you could improve what you did. Ideally, you should be checking in throughout the year too to make sure you're working on those goals. Actually, it makes me think it's time to do it all again. I highly recommend it. To wrap up, I'd just like to add that mood tracking is best done on a daily basis when the mood is fresh in your mind. Some people even track their mood more than once a day, and that's totally fine. Think about whether your journal is the best place to do mood tracking, because there's a lot of apps available that you can have on your phone, and they will be more readily available for you to track your mood as it happens. Try each method out and see what works for you best. Please don't be concerned about bad days. It is completely normal for your mood to go up and down and for you to have good and bad days. In a way, bad days help you appreciate the good days just that little bit more. I hope this video has given you more ideas for how to get more out of your mood tracker. Please like this video and subscribe, and thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. See ya!